And we'll be watching Terry McLaurin. He's putting together one of the better seasons in league history. It's the Commanders and the Jets, and it's all up next.
It's an afternoon probably best suited for skating in Central Park, but we're across the river, and we are in for a cold one at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
But meanwhile, for the visiting Commanders, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
A happy Christmas Eve to all. What a good one we have in store as we are underway here in Week 16. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Bringing them out, the former Tar Heel, second-year pro, Sam Howell.
And he left North Carolina with most of his school's records, and at one point was thought to be maybe the #1 quarterback in his draft class. He does bring deceptive athleticism and plenty of upside to the table. Add some consistency, and maybe he can really unlock what he can be in the NFL.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll go play action. Howell. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That goes for a gain of 31.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Howell to the air on 1st and 10. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Second down and a run by Robinson. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free in the tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
And Howell will throw it. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. And the Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by Zach Wilson, former second overall pick, now in his third season out of BYU.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Open man here is Conklin. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Now Wilson. And check down, complete to Hall. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. You talk about this Washington defense. Against the pass, they've had some issues, ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking out the #1 overall offense in the league.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
Now Wilson on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Wilson will throw again. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 29-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Wilson's throw is on target to Likely. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. No hesitation, goes right back to Likely. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Here's Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
They'll run for the 1st time with Breece Hall. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. If you're going to throw.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Deron Payne in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for it.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
As the Commanders make their way out on offense, let's take a peek at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wild card spots with 2 weeks to go. But, you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And, Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So, in theory, more teams alive for a postseason berth later in the year.
Now Howell. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Quentin Williams never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense. So he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape.
Oh, Howell loses it. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they'll have it just 5 yards away from pay dirt here, 1st and goal.
But that's the down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Conklin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets have taken the lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. From his end zone is Byron Pringle. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And the Washington offense heading out. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Howell. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. You talk about this Jets defense. They enter play 1 from the bottom, number 31 in the league, Charles, against the run.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they are facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
3rd and 3. Back to throw, Howell. Short throw there, caught by Thomas. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
Faking the handoff, Howell. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 33. 10-3 our score after one here on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing here, Howell. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay? Because it says something like this. I've got this many seconds to find a target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this 1st down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets a big gain, and they'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Clinton Williams. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this 1st half. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. Sly able to put this one through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The New York set to take the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he's secure.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Wilson throwing on 3rd and long. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Thomas Morstead now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Here's Howell. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Off-play action. It's Howell. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot, forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
13 yards there and a Washington first.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, right back to Gibson. And room there to work it inside the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. 55 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well, right at them and right up the middle.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
2nd down. Howell now. Looking and finding Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Touchdown, Washington.
It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Commanders are able to move back in front.
You got it figured out by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Joey Sly on for the extra point. And this one's right there, and that pushes the lead to 13-10. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was capped off by the Logan Thomas touchdown catch. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Play action. It's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Now Wilson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. But Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
Powell throwing on first down here. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Here is 3rd and 5. This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commander's first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. On the draw, it's Gibson. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 65 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll run with Gibson, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. On 3rd down and short, and everything well executed. He not only gets the first down, Charles, he gets the touchdown as well.
And you see the defense commit to the run so often in these situations. There's always that little bit of hesitancy, isn't there, partner? Thinking that they may play action you. They took advantage of that hesitancy and found their way into the end zone with a running play.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time, because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And Lazard's got it again. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. To throw is Wilson. That's complete to Lazard. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Throwing again here, Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. And he's got this down to the 35. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Pass complete. He's got Lazard on the out route. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in everyone to this Christmas Eve edition of the EA Sports Halftime Report. So let's get to it. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And it's the Colts on top as that one approaches halftime. The Colts seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. The Texans looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. The Panthers locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way. Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Now the Jets going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise him with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
That's complete right side to Lazard. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a second and long.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now it's Wilson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. First possession of the second half now for Washington. Howell and the Commanders come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Wilson. Touchdown! Alan Lazard, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Jets take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Zerline good with a PAT, and that will tie things at 20 all. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And here we go on the next drive for Washington. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Robinson up the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 54 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Howell's throw into the hands of McClellan. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Now he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Now a 2nd and 2.
At the 23-yard line.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. On 1st down, right back to Hall. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 27-yard line.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Here's Wilson to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting 1st downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it. But it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the 1st down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Howell. And he rifles one incomplete.
Offense was moving them a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Back to the ground with Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
That's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crash down inside, and tackle them for a loss.
And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 14. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with the quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. We're off to the 4th quarter here on Christmas Eve. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. And now we'll throw it. Flush to his right. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Sam Howell taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Commanders have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the fourth.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking, nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and they will take a 7-point lead. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson. His throw incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Wilson's got it on the crossing route. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Fielded at the 20. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Washington offense going back to work. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. There he goes, right side. He may go. And down to the 7-yard line. 152 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They'll run with Robinson. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. It's his 8th rushing touchdown on the campaign and 10th overall. And the Commanders are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead now up to 14.
Commanders 34, Jets 20.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. The New York set to take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see. And now off to the races down the right side. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 55 yards.
And normally when you think about huge field flipping plays like this, it's that shifty slot receiver, that burner on the outside. Not here. That's a tight end doing work down the field. Where's the oxygen mask? He's going to need it after that one. A big, big pull.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. But with the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on this.
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game. And when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes their way. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus up.
Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Throwing here, Howell. Sets up the screen to Robinson. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
Partner, I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss because this is an obvious passing situation, but instead they fooled them a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost and then a little bit more.
Open man is Samuel, complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Here's Tressway now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The New York set to take the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll get this to Lazard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now Wilson on first down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. 62 yards. And the Jets have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Washington offense set to take over. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in place, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Once more, Gibson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Hand off now to Robinson. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. A give up the middle to Gibson. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will remain a 1-touchdown game. Well, things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
Here's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown Jets. Tyler Conklin with a 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. Byron Pringle now to return it. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Forget about matriculating the ball down the field at this point of the game. They needed a big chunk, and they got one. And now, you're 1 completion away from giving your kicker a chance to win the game.
Powell to throw. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first. And they are knocking on the door of field goal range now.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here we go, first and goal. They'll run with Gibson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, they would have loved to have scored a touchdown there, but this still sets them up for a game-winning field goal attempt.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal. On the give, here's Robinson. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the fourth, but they got to feel good now. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. So here's Wilson and the Jets down by 7, 24 seconds to go. They've got to travel the full 75 yards, and time is obviously a huge factor here. First and 10. Wilson to throw. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
Another try, second and 10 now. Throwing now is Wilson. And that one too wide and incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Powell going to go down to a knee, and that should just about wrap this up. So a victory here for the Commanders. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future, they've got to work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So for the Commanders, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.